So we received, just to let you guys know too, we have received to date 18 applications for the part-time jobs.
Awesome. That's a good amount, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're pretty split, about half are associates, half are pages.
Still, yeah, that's great.
We won't be hiring everybody who applied, definitely. We're gonna have to,
I think not.
yeah.
Shall we call the meeting to order? We're all here, the gang's all here. It is 11:03 and I'm calling the meeting of the Southborough Library Board of Trustees to order. Today is Monday, August 30th.
Hold on, sorry.
Shall I do it again?
Yeah, okay. Why don't we call it here? Because we're live on YouTube, but what happened was I had the volume up on YouTube, so you were hearing what I was saying like a minute ago. I didn't turn down the volume. I'm sorry. I am still not your best technical support, but I'm what you got. So.
I think
Monday
you're
morning.
better than me, so there we are.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order again. It's Monday, August 30th, 2021. This is the Southborough Library Board of Trustees special meeting, and it is now 11:04, called to order. Okay, we have one agenda item today, which is the new hire discussion. Ryan, do you want to explain the ins and outs of that?
Sure. So as I was able to let the board know last Monday, we had a notice of one of our long-term senior library assistants is retiring. So she's given us a date of October 1st is going to be her last day. I was able to meet, Kim Ivers was out and she was back for a couple days. So I was able to go over sort of a rough outline of a plan for us in the next couple weeks on a new hire. So as you recall, when we had put in many years ago for the assistant director job, the plan was to have a director, an assistant director, and then we had Kim functioning as the children's librarian. Now the situation is a little different because we have me as the library director, Kim is now our assistant director, and we would still like the third person to be a full-time librarian. So we had discussed, I know at the end of last year, a lot, a teen librarian position, which we were unable to add to the salary administration plan for the past town meeting. So we can't hire a job that doesn't exist under SAP. It has to be listed there. So the position that is listed there now is children's librarian, which is in Schedule A, Grade 5. That is the only other full-time librarian position that we have available to us. So I've had a few different discussions. Vanessa Hale, the assistant town administrator, was out last week, but I was able to touch base with her this morning. And I spoke with a few members of the personnel board just about sort of what we could and couldn't do. What we can do is hire a new full-time children's librarian. But Kim Ivers and I discussed this, that job title is not ideal since our assistant director now manages our children's room. So we are still going to have to hire under this title because that's what exists. And we would prefer to hire somebody now. Because we would like to avoid a disruption in the continuity of service for the public. But what we can do is for next spring's town meeting, ask that the title for the existing position be updated. And I think the current winner is youth services librarian, since that would cover both adult/teen services with also assistance in the children's room, which I think Kim needs.
Yeah. That's a perfect title.
Yeah.
So that's probably what we're going to ask for. The good part about this is that if the job description for children's librarian wasn't applicable, we couldn't even have the discussion at all. But if you read the children's librarian job description and we were to retitle it, it very clearly is a youth services job. So like all job descriptions, there's definitely some things that could be updated to reflect, I think, what the person actually does. But I would say the foundation of it, the bones of what it is very clearly both children and young adult services. So that's kind of the best scenario we could have asked for. The thing that sort of the one holdup is that the title for this job is not what we want the title to be. So we're going to have to work with personnel board in the next several months to try to get it there.
I don't have a problem with this method of going forward. Any other board members want to speak to it?
No, I think our hands were tied when we couldn't get it in the SAP. So we knew this was coming. We just couldn't give an exact date. And to leave a position empty for, months and months and months will be a disservice to our patrons and to the staff who have been through a lot in the past year. So, and it's not disingenuous. It describes what they're going to be doing. It's just kind of a title issue. I am a little concerned with the applicants we'll get, but Ryan will take care of that on the interview and the discussion before interviewing. So I feel confident.
We are gonna the job ad is gonna be kind of unique from us too, in that we are not gonna put the position title at the top, but we are going to talk about what the position title is below. And we're actually gonna advertise for a youth services position.
Perfect.
Again, not ideal, but we want it to be kind of clear to the applicants that yes, it's a full-time librarian job, but you're going to get hired under one title, and then that's going to, potentially be revised in March. So we will make this clear during the hiring and the applicant process that this is sort of what the plan is. But I think getting the person in, and there is a lot of overlap between, I think if we find a really great children's person, some of their skills could be applicable to young adult and vice versa. I'm hoping the real sort of kicker is you could call this like in parentheses older and then children's librarian, because we do want the person to work with sort of the older population, but still with kids under 18. So I think we will be as transparent as possible during the process of trying to get applicants. I know that was probably a concern of everybody when I sent out the call for the meeting. So I am confident whenever we have posted a full-time job, we get a lot of applicants. So I think sifting through those and trying to manage expectations for the applicants is something I feel comfortable doing.
Okay.
Yeah, people who love toddlers, I was going to say, don't always love teens and vice versa, but.
Well, people multitask in the library, that's for
Right.
sure. Jane and Janet, do you have any thoughts on this that you'd like to share with?
I think whatever
rest of the
gets
board?
us towards filling the position with the right candidate works for me.
Good,
I like
great.
the idea of advertising it with the description more than the literal
Yeah.
title. Because you do want to pull in those applicants that wouldn't particularly want to focus on little children.
Great, I agree. Good, yeah, Janet, exactly.
Yep. Jane, you're
on mute,
muted.
Jane.
Am I muted now?
Nope.
Loud and clear.
I agree with both of Amy and Janet. I think, Ryan, you've got it advertised correctly, and hopefully we'll pull in. Sounds like you have already had some interest in it. So, and having lots of applicants is promising too.
Good, that's great. So are there any other issues, Ryan, that we don't need to vote on this?
No,
We're just in support, right?
And I'm sorry that we had two board members who couldn't attend. I know this was a special meeting, but this is because the part-time jobs are closing today. So today is going to be the last day to do it. My intention is to now post the full-time job ad tomorrow, keep it open for 2 weeks, and then I'll be getting applications for the full-time job while Kim and I are finishing up the part-time interviews. So what I will also say is, I know there's a number of sort of projects that we're working towards. I have to meet with Janet about a couple things, and I'm meeting with Kim Regan about doing that grant index. All of those are important projects, but just what I'm letting, just to manage your expectations for my time, September is going to be hiring. Like that's really what I'm going to be doing. So I think we have on the books now, like at least 12 interviews when Kim gets back from vacation. So it's also something Kim Ivers is going to be helping me do. We've already asked Vanessa Hale if she would assist with the interview process, and it's possible we may involve another department head. I can tell you, I just sat in on the program director for recreation, those interviews. We would like the youth services person to do partnerships with rec. So it's possible. When we did the assistant director interviews, we had the director of youth and family services sit in on the interviews. It mainly depends on who's available and can sit in with us. But I also don't know how intimidating it is for the candidates to sit in front of 4 people versus 3. So it might just be Kim, Vanessa, and I, depending on, again, availability.
Sure,
Sounds like
3
it's under
versus
control.
4.
Go ahead, Amy, what?
I was just gonna say, I don't think 3 versus 4. I mean, I think 3 versus 1, but if they're gonna work with rec, I think getting a sense from them makes sense, but that's just my opinion.
And could they do an interview with them separately? Could they do it after or something?
It'll definitely be a multi, we're not just doing one interview. So we could either have rec just sit in on the first interview or in the follow-up interviews. What I would say is I sat in on initial interviews, like the screening interviews with candidates, and then I wasn't part of the second round. So we probably involve the rec director the same way if he's available.
Well, if September is higher month, and there it is, we'll do it. And I'm very happy with this solution if it follows through, that we won't have to wait until the next town meeting to get another hire, which would be fairly disastrous in terms of putting a strain
We
on the
can't.
rest of the.
Not
Yeah,
fair.
exactly.
You
Exactly.
can't wait that long.
Yeah, no.
We
on
will
the
have to
subject-
wait though until the annual town meeting next March to update the title. So the other thing I'll just mention is we've never had a joint meeting with personnel. I don't know that we need to for this. I'm happy to represent the trustees, but I'll just let you know that they may have some feedback that I have to bring back to the board and then vice versa. So I would just say if I start being, like I'm going to personnel, I'm going to trustees, I'm going to personnel, and it makes sense to have a joint meeting, we can look at that potentially. I think just letting them know our intention to update the title. I've already let a couple members know that we're going to be coming back with that request. So I don't think this will be a surprise.
I think you can tell personnel that the trustees strongly support this course of action.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
short of a vote, I don't know. On the subject of Pat, who has worked for us for 18 years, she says she does not want a goodbye celebration, but she's very fond of jewelry. So I thought she's dealing with some health issues, which is very boring, but she said she really loves the Pandora jewelry. So I thought maybe I or someone else could, and she prefers silver, but she does like the gold, so that I or someone else can sort of be point person on this, because she's been with us and wonderful for a long time, and she will be sadly missed, as they say, but there that is. So
We're going to
I'm-
be putting together a staff collection.
Mhm.
And also, we're gonna see if the Friends have a meeting before Pat leaves. So we're gonna see if the Friends would like to do anything or give us a staff gift to her. So if you want to be involved in any of those, you can just let me know. And,
Okay, that's
I
good.
think
Yes,
we
it
tack
would be
on-
nice to do. I think it'd be really nice to do something, because she's given us a lot of really good presence at the library for quite a while.
Would you want to do it separate, Marguerite, from the friends and the staff, or?
I'm okay with doing it a separate one too, if you guys are okay with that.
If
Sure,
you want,
yeah.
Marguerite, if you want to have an envelope in my office that
Yeah.
makes it secure and people can drop by, they can do it, or people can see you directly.
All
about it.
right, either one. Yep, either one. The necklace gets high marks, I hear, so we'll see what
Okay.
we can find for that. So good, I'm glad. I just thought it would be a nice thing to do. So do we have
The
more
only,
discussion on this, Ryan?
for the hiring,
Mhm.
I'm all set.
Oh my gosh, it's
Well,
11:17.
Woohoo.
I
The
think we're
ol- yeah,
done.
the only thing I'll say is that at the meeting on the 21st, I
Yeah.
will probably have the appointments for the part-time positions
All
ready to
right.
go. So that is our next regular meeting. If
Mhm.
you would contact me if you would prefer to do the appointments as a separate meeting, but I think we can do that pretty early on the 21st.
Yeah,
Go on to additional business after that, if
all
that's
right,
with you.
okay. It shouldn't take terribly long. I mean,
No, no, but I will say I don't want to bundle them. I think we need to vote on each candidate individually. So
Alright.
that'll be a little, we'll have to do a roll call vote, and we're probably hiring something like 7 or 8 people. So
we have to approve it, but we don't actually make the decision.
you do have to approve the appointment. So
Mhm.
I'll bring to you the names of the people we want to appoint.
Right, okay, that sounds fine. I will see if it'll fit on the 21st or if it won't.
And I hate to hit you with other business, but this is just a notification, is that on Friday, the library's air conditioner broke. So John and I were trying to work on this on the weekend, yeah, and he's trying to get a technician out today who likely will come in the afternoon. It is already 77 degrees in my office. We got a little bit above 80. We had people who would come to the library, sit down for 5 minutes and then leave.
Yeah.
So it's getting a little toasty is what I'm saying. The downstairs with the children's room is usually cooler anyway, so it's not really problematic. But mainly this is just a notification that if it gets too hot and the staff are not able to work, we're gonna have to close or at least partially close the library. So
Excellent.
John and I are trying to work on this as quickly and efficiently as possible, but I just wanted to let you know that if you see the library doesn't have air conditioning and it's shutting down early, that's so.
That's rough.
Fans?
We have fans set up at the circulation area, yeah,
Yeah.
and John said he can provide more.
So
So,
what broke? Do we know?
no, that the technician is coming to.
Is it like electronic thermostat or a piece of?
I can tell you that John is
fan?
able to access the system remotely, and he was here Friday. And then he saw that the temperature was higher than it was supposed to be, but it looked like everything was functioning correctly. So we definitely needed a technician, so we don't know what's going on.
All right, well, sorry that you have to deal with that, but anything we can do, let us know, but I don't see it at this point. If you need to close, you need to close, right?
Set up a sprinkler in the front for the staff. I'm
Yeah.
That was the
water
one
slide.
thing, that was the one thing we should have invested in, was like a slip and slide. We
Slip
could,
and slide, yeah.
think I have a spare one. I'd love it. You go first and I'll video it for you.
Now there's a fundraiser.
Or those dunking tanks, right?
yeah,
Oh,
that's, I
yeah.
think you get a lot of takers from me.
All right.
Okay, any other business that shall properly come before the board? Or are we out of here in, my God, less than 20 minutes?
Think we're
Okay,
good.
Ryan, thank you for everything. And I know this is a huge extra amount of work for you to do the hires, but it'll be worth it.
No, I told you at the last meeting, I had a feeling like we're gonna have to schedule a special meeting after I talked to Betsy. So I appreciate your time. And again, I'm sorry for the board members who couldn't be here, but I'm happy to update them on what the plan is. And I did get to have a conversation with Kim Regan on Friday. And so I think she's pretty up on what we're doing. So
Good, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds great. So do I have a motion to adjourn and let Ryan get back to the pressing business of the air conditioning?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all
You
those in
need to give your
favor?
names, right, when they do that for,
Yes, the motion was Janet Maney, the second was Jane Davis. And Jane, you're first on the call out list.
Aye.
Okay, and then me, I, and then Janet,
Aye.
and then I'm doing it alphabetically, then Amy.
aye.
All right, then the meeting is adjourned. It is 11:22. And people have texted me about the gift for Pat, and I will call you separately. How's that?
Perfect.
And thank
Okay.
you.
Have
Okay,
a great
so
week. Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.